hello, DrayBarrels, and hello, Governor. They're sporting a lovely T-shirt, sir.
Oh, an oldie but a goodie.
Oh,
Anyway, yes,
brilliant, man.
all very well over here, referee. The only thing is, we've had a hell of a storm last night. Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening.
Ooh.
And we've had a big downpour. But luckily, it's just abated a bit. Maybe it's listening for the DrayMen's knowledge, didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, that's a little bit of it's in the background.
Because if it starts up, you will hear it. Because at the moment, I'm sat here next to my curtain. We're having our house extended.
Oh,
and at the moment, we've got the slab in. They just put the slab in today, and they've covered it with tarp. Of course, when it rains, it's a patter of tiny pools. But
tapping outside, perhaps.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's like
so we'll see how it goes. But at the moment, we're all good.
Cool. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's been just the same here. It's been kind of cold, but it's kind of warm. Texas. It changes a lot. But hey, listen. Before we get going on news, our usual segment, we've had a bit of correspondence. May I interject on this?
Wow, of course, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we haven't.
I'm all ears.
Oh, well, certainly, sir, because it does pertain to you, but it actually pertains to me a bit as well. But the first part. So Alan Hardyboy Irish has been on. He sent a message this week through the Instagram posts, and he or messages or whatever it is on there, and he said,
I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, I kind of picked up on it pretty quick, but he said, and I deleted it pretty quick. We can't keep all. It's just flooded with messages.
I know.
Constantly, you have to clear it.
I think when I mentioned Squid Games last week briefly,
yeah,
I think a lot of our Asian DrayBarrels were right on that. I mean, what a show that is! But we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it was a request actually. So he's been on, and he said he has requested a chalk it up in the style of Lance the Surfer Dude, but actually specifically from the Governor. So, can you give us a chalk it up? In Lance's style. So
I'm just trying to channel a bit of Lance, mate. Yeah, chalk it up.
Brilliant. There you go. Alan Hardyboy Irish.
Alan Irish. Do you think he's Irish, or maybe he's Alan Hardy and he's I don't know.
I don't know. He had a minor quibble as well. He's a loyal DrayBarrel. He says he's loving
it. I knew it was going too well. Go on.
He's loving it. But this kind of pertains to me a little bit. So what he said is a bit of a story. It's brief. But in my younger years, I was involved in a lot of beach fighting. And unfortunately, I lost my fingernails in some nasty encounters with a duo called the Militia, he says. Ever since, I have struggled to open beer cans. So the idea you had, Referooney, he says, was good to use as a can pull, opening the can. He said, yeah. But there's an issue there.
There's a hack, isn't it? That's what they call them. Oh, there's an issue. Okay, go on then. What's happened here?
Well, because of his nail issue, he said, but how do you open the first can without a can pull? Therein lies my conundrum, but keep up the great drinking.
So maybe, obviously, Alan Irish is not, hasn't got children, because my counter to that last week was get your kids to open it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But obviously hasn't got children. So I would say, Alan, if things got really bad, I would ask a neighbour. But if you are in Ireland and you lived out in the wilds, I would suggest a fork.
Oh, yeah.
You never fork under the ring pool. Lovely.
Don't you think maybe it's like you
didn't stop him typing, did it? Old fingernailless Alan. Didn't stop him typing away.
I guess. I don't know. But I wonder if it's a lazy issue as well. You got to think, if you sat in your chair, you don't want to make double movements going back for forks, so you got to pre-plan it. Especially for somebody in that situation, he's obviously had this issue for a long time.
Well, if he should just buy bottled beer then.
Yeah, there you go. Just
There you go,
move
Alan.
on. Move on, Alan.
Talking of beach fighting, I once saw a guy mucking about, I believe, and his friend clotheslined him from the top of a bin, all fun and japes, and suddenly this guy went down and he stood up and his nose has exploded.
Oh shit.
His friend went white as a sheet because it was all an accident, and the guy that's nose exploded just cackling with laughter like it was the funniest thing ever. Oh, good fun. A
That's
scaffold
mental.
match, get in the skip and have a rumble. Oh,
Oh,
fun times.
oh man, that sounds awesome. Do you remember that old quote? What did he say? I can't remember who said it, but he said, it was such a brutal fight, and it got so extreme that I saw the man and the man fighting him, both of them were in tears. That's how bad it got. They were crying, but they carried on. Fighting.
Oh man, yeah, we got some beers to drink, and
Oh
we.
yeah. Anyway,
I'm just wetting my palate with a good old Carling because I know it winds you up.
I just did a quick pumpkin one because I got so many over here. It's flowing. It's flowing. But anyway, I'm just going to quickly go to our usual bit, which is.
Oh, yeah, it's beer news of the week.
So.
Of the week.
That worked quite well, actually. No video, sorry. But mine is pretty quick. It's just a bit of snippet I picked up on this week. So have you all heard of Tesla and Elon Musk?
Yes, I've heard of Nikola Tesla and Elon Musk. Yes.
Well, Elon Musk, the automaker Tesla as well, is beginning manufacturing beer. So they're going into beer now, of all things. So
he can fuck right off.
During his appearance at Geigerfest event on October the 9th, Tesla CEO Elon Musk announced that Tesla would be producing its own alcoholic beverage dubbed Geiger beer. So
a Geiger counter, but it's a gigabyte. How interesting.
That's very true. Do you think that's a tomato thing? Do you think they say Geiger here and Giga in Britain? Because I'd always say gigabyte. But do you think
they say gigabytes? I don't know.
I haven't heard gigabyte before, so
people don't talk like that anymore, do they? They don't say how many gigabytes has your computer got. They don't talk like that, do they?
No, you're right. It's kind of like, remember that we used to say 2000, 2001. Now it's 2021. So, and I think maybe if we look back, people would say 2009. I think people change a little bit, how they pronounce things. Do you think? Or am I talking nonsense?
It's just the day and age, isn't it? The local the fashions of language, I suppose.
It's very interesting. I love the fashion. Well, I just love language in general.
So is that it?
Oh, well, yeah, sorry. And so he didn't give details on the beverage, so we don't really know what it is, but he released some images of its container. Incidentally, the website doesn't show the images, so I don't know about this. But so some people are kind of speculating that it's just a trick. He's not really doing it. But apparently he's filed Geiger beer and Geiger beer, spelt in German, trademarks with the US patent. So I'm guessing, I know he's coming to Austin, right? He's firmly moving to Austin now. It's been in the news and, getting out of California. So I wonder,
He's got to call it rocket fuel, surely.
Man, that almost pertains to my brewery today. Wait and see. Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, because he's going on about SpaceX and all that.
Well, I've got.
So anyway.
We'll keep a tab on old Elon Musk. And his Tesla's cars.
Yeah.
And I've got a little bit to add to the news, which is Brewdog. Now, over here, they ran a competition beginning of the year, actually, same year, 2021, which on behalf of the Draymen, I entered. One of them was to win a golden can, and the other golden cans that were put out there were hidden in boxes of beer. You know, you buy a box of beer, if you had a golden can, you're the winner.
Yeah.
Now, when they advertised that golden can, they advertised it in their original post as solid gold. Now, they made an error there because this guy took them to court. We mentioned it in another one.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And he said, well, he won one of the cans, but it wasn't solid gold. It was plated and it was worth about 500 quid, right? And it all went to court and blah, blah, blah. And they held their hands up, Brewdog did, and said, we got it wrong. My bad. Our bad. You know, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Language, as we talk about the language.
Yeah,
anyway, so they've just launched their new competition, which is to find another gold can, which is encrusted with diamonds. And you can either keep that as a prize or trade it in and you will be guaranteed £25,000. They have apologized for their competition. It was an error on their behalf before. Right. And they've guaranteed that that would be the prize. And they were sorry that they misled anyone in the last competition and wished everyone luck for this new competition. So,
wow,
if you're out there, grab a box of Brewdog beer. It might have 25k in it.
You know, it's almost a bloody drag of mine because I can't find the Brewdogs here in Texas. It's really hard to find it. And I know they have a foothold in America. It's obviously in Texas. So I'm very frustrated by that, but there we go.
Well, if I win it, I'll let you know.
Brew some correspondence.
Right, come on. We've got to get on with this beer. Yeah, what you got this week?
Oh, you want me to get going? All right, let's get going. So I have got Astronaut Cookies Oatmeal Stout. And see the space theme?
Oh, I like that. Oh, it's old Elon.
Yeah, there he is, up in space. So it's Neff Brewery out of Oklahoma.
He's eating space cakes. Look at that. How can he be eating it and his head's in a helmet? Oh, it's baffling. It's a conundrum within a conundrum.
There's one for you, Alan. Figure that one out, sunshine. But yeah, so I actually have the two cans, right? Staff. And I'm going to...
What do you mean two? Oh, you're going to have two?
Well, they're just stubby fuckers. And actually, it's pretty light. It's only a 5% oatmeal stout. So I am going to counter Alan with a solution to opening the can without nails. Being prepared again. I've brought a little pipe cleaner pouch. So it's just for your pipe, you know, DrayBarrels. And I keep one of these on hand. It's a very old one. But this little pipe cleaner here, I don't smoke my pipe as much anymore. Do you still smoke yours, Gav?
No, I smoked one for maybe a couple of weeks and that was it.
We're no Bill Ships over here.
And we ran out of the drugs that were free and never done them again.
Yeah, they didn't last long. But it actually, if you look at this old pipe cleaner, it has a slight little blade on it, old rusty blade and that, but it's perfect for wedging under the can. Hence,
have a look then, and yeah, you're using your finger.
Well, I'm using the stubborn
I see you're prying it up.
Yeah, so I'm prying it up essentially. So I got the tub thumper for this, and
let's hope we never see that thing again. Jesus, that jug, because there's a stubby can, like it's playing a trick on your eyes. You think that you're pouring a full can, so it makes the glass look enormous. Hey, look at that.
See? It's not far off though, is it? I just need a basic top up. So maybe should I use the can top or just use my pipe thing to open?
Oh God. Apologies to everyone. Don't even bother to fucking text in. This won't see another week.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it'll become
simple pleasures.
Maybe it'll become a thing.
He uses a stick to hang up his coat. He's an absolute buffoon. Right, come on then, let's have a look. Has that got any head on it? I can't see it.
There's no head. there is no head to this stout, which is rather unusual. It looks really murky, and I would almost say it looks like a brown ale. You know, like Nuki Brown and stuff. It has that look to it. It's not. So I don't know. So it's an oatmeal stout. So anyway, let's get the nose. No nose. Nothing really popping out there.
Maybe you got COVID.
What, the beer?
No, you, because you can't smell it.
I don't know. I don't feel like I've got it. Maybe. I've been vaccinated, so you don't feel the effects, do you? If you did. So they say. Nothing really. It just tastes like a basic stout, a light stout. There's no thickness to it. It's kind of
it's like an original type stout, isn't it?
Yeah, just more kind of an original, the old-fashioned stouts, you know, how they used to be. What was that one you did that was very much an original stout from Ireland?
I don't know.
Or was it a different brewery?
Yeah, I did a JJ stout or whatever it was called. That was an Irish stout. That had a slight head. There was a slight one, but yours is nothing. That Top Rope Brewing I done last Halloween, that poured like that.
Yeah,
a sniff of it.
It's very watery, and I would almost call this. If I didn't know, you know, it was a stout, I would have said this is a brown ale.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
let's have a look. So the funny thing is, I have just one over from you. I haven't gone for a stout, but because we've done lagers and all sorts recently, I know we're doing a stout special. I've gone for a porter.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Now I've gone from a porter. I've got a stubby fucker. I've only got one can of it, so
okay.
There we are.
Sorry about that.
Late in the night for me. So I've gone for a Welsh brewery, Tiny Rebel Brewing.
We know them well. I've been there.
Know them well, but not reviewed the beer. So I've gone for Stay Puffed, a marshmallow porter, 5.2 ABV. And as I said, I know you've been there. Have you been to the brew house?
We went to the Cardiff location.
Yeah, there's one in Cardiff.
Yeah.
So we're talking about South Wales here, folks, to let you know. We're talking about South Wales, and we're talking about Newport, which is just the next sort of city up from Cardiff, just as you cross the bridge into Wales from England. You come to Newport, which is like a stone's throw from Cardiff, really, and they've got a pub in both places, and they've also got a lovely, great big brewery tap room. So, as I said, this is Stay Puffed, like from Ghostbusters. It is that time of year, and this is a
movie coming out.
Yeah, so I've gone for the Guinness glass. I had no correspondence with me pouring that last week. I thought we might have brought it down. Stafford was fixated on something else, or whatever his name was. Yeah. And here we go. So let's get the pour on. Here we go. Going in a Guinness glass. Another accident, because I thought this was the straight one. Oh, look, even my porter's got a head.
Wow, it bloody well has.
So jealous.
So jealous. It looks thick.
No, it's not too thick. Poured nice. I don't think that head's going to last long, but
yeah.
Oh, it's sweet. Steve knows the nose is sweet.
Steve knows. I'll have a word. Oh, yeah, that looks good.
Sweet nose on it. Oh, I love the fizz of it. Lovely fizz. So let's get it down.
Yeah, have a taste.
Sip to start. I mean, with porters, particular porters are so close to stouts that if you were served it up blind, it'd be hard to pull it out. I would say that yours is more like a porter and mine's more like a stout.
I would have said that.
Although I can see the brown on that a bit. Right, so anyway, let's have a proper glug.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that's not going to last long.
That is a lovely taste. Sweet.
It's dark.
Nice and sweet. It is dark. I mean, I haven't got the best light as usual.
No, we can see.
It is very dark there.
Oh,
look at that.
Yeah. Ooh. You
Look at that.
cannot see DrayBarrels. You
I-
cannot see the governor's face.
I am the front man from Squid
Hey,
Game.
isn't that? Oh man, that's mental.
Have you watched it?
I watched the first episode and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. It was just nuts.
Really good. Make sure you watch it. Don't watch any spoilers on YouTube.
No, I
'cause
won't.
It's really good.
But we probably could, like, that's probably a good test. Can you see your face through the glass?
I can see yours is browner. I can see that.
Yeah, yeah. And fizzy. And yours is fizzy though, right?
Mine stopped fizzing, but it's retained a slight bit of head. But yeah,
Man.
it's a lovely. I tell you, it's reminding me of one I had last year, which was the marshmallow. But this is This is a porter.
Yeah.
Just tasting that has taken me back to last year. I think I had it when I was walking around them gardens on that Christmas lights thing.
Oh yeah, that's
It's lovely. You get the taste, but then that taste is still with you in your neck, back of your throat, and it's lovely, wintry warmness.
the cockles
Really
of your
nice,
heart.
actually.
The cockles of your heart. It really gets you there, and that's a good stout.
So their thing, actually, Tiny Rebel, is that, especially with this porter, is that they wanted to take the traditional London porter
Yeah.
to the next level. So they've mixed it, and they say on their website that it's mixed with millions upon millions of marshmallowiness. So you're not wrong. You can taste the sweetness there. I don't know if I mentioned it's a 5.2. I think I did actually. It's a 5.2.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's a nice drink, not too strong.
I honestly think you've beaten me this week on the ABVs. I'm 5. You're 5.2.
Oh,
Yeah, you have.
That's a first.
Sure, DrayBarrels. I'm rather shocked by that. Wouldn't it be, well, one of these days, actually, a somewhat occasional segment, I should say, is let's do a knowledge on a porter. I like to get down to the nitty gritty on a porter.
Yeah, I know. I've found a couple of beers actually in my adventures online recently that I can get hold of. The stronger percentages of beer, talking like the 12 and 13%. They do sell them over here.
Oh, okay.
Do you know how much one of the cans was? £13 per can.
Shit.
That's like $20. So $20 for one can.
Bloody hell! No, you're right there. Oh no, that's expensive. You couldn't.
Yes, I'm not fucking about that in a minute. If I win that 25k from friends brew dogs, then I'll get one to celebrate. But until then, I won't be heading near that.
No.
So should I give a little bit of bump on these guys? Slightly?
Yeah, go for it, and then I'll round off my stuff after that.
They're from Newport. We got a good friend in Newport. We've got connections in Newport. We've got the Triple D. We've got the Damien Desmond Downs.
All of these.
As he calls himself these days. Well,
what is he called?
I don't know, something in Welsh. This, but it starts with D. This was set up in 2012 by two guys who were brother-in-laws, Bradley Cummings, Gareth Williams. Gareth Williams, what a lovely South Welsh name that is. And they were taught by one of their grandfathers who was keen on home brewing and that, how to brew. And then they took a chance, and now they're turning over big numbers. They've got over 100 staff. They've got all these, and the bars they've got are lovely looking. I mean, you've been in one, for instance.
Yeah, very nice. Very traditional.
So they use water from a natural spring. And if you go on the brewery tour, which they do, you learn they get it from the natural spring all the way through. And then at the end of the tour, you get to taste it from their brewery taproom bar. So you get to see the whole journey of that water and how they mix, and depending what beer they got on that day, how they do it. They have masterclass tastings there, brewery tours, as I've for mentioned, and they were voted, well, they are known as Wales's top microbrewery. The first year they opened, so the first competitions they entered, they won gold, silver and bronze in 2013 for their beers. They're the only Welsh brewery to have won Best British Beer, which was, have I written that down or not? But they've won it for, so 2015 they won the Champion Beer of Britain for their red ale, Cwtch.
Oh, we love a Cwtch, don't we?
We love a Cwtch.
Yeah.
Now, over in America, you might not understand what that means, but it's just like a little cuddle.
It's something we brought up my little boy on, and he knows Cwtch like anything else. And growing up, I always thought Cwtch was just in the national vocabulary of the UK. I just thought everybody knows Cwtch. Yeah, but it's something we've instilled in our family, and my good wife has taken to very well. So that's brilliant. I'm just really surprised in a way when you started, because obviously you've reviewed Tiny Rebel before, and I
haven't done a full review on them talking about their setup. I've only reviewed, I think I've only ever stuck up ones where I've just drunk them in the week type of thing.
Oh, okay, like a mini
Which
set.
would have been a sour, which was the rhubarb and custard sour that I had, and Easy Living Pale Ale, which I had one of them as well. I've had a number of others, but they're the ones I know that I've posted about before, but I've never given the history of them before.
That's so interesting, because I didn't read it, so I'm learning something new about them, the history.
So listen to this, right? They set up in 2012. In 2017, only 5 years later, they opened their new brewery, which is where they are at the minute in Newport. £2.6 million brewery. In 5 years, they grew that fast. And when they ran a competition to find out their biggest fan, and when they selected their biggest fan, they got the privilege of cutting the ribbon to open the new brewery. And later down the line, they offered a job in the business, and they now work for them, the person that won that competition. So they do a lot for charity.
Yeah.
They sponsor local football teams, but they also sponsor, you might like this, the local roller derby teams, or roller derby. Roller derby.
Derby.
It's picking up around this country, bit of roller derby. And they sponsored one in South Wales.
That's crazy. Did you ever watch that show? It was that extreme sports show on Netflix, and they did the Highland Games, and they did that.
Oh, yeah.
They did the roller derby up in Austin.
Because it's really, it's the women that really go for that, isn't it? It's more popular with the women of the species than male. But yeah, no, they say they sponsor them, and they also do a lot for South Wales St David's Hospice.
Okay,
they sponsor them as well. What else can I say about them? This year, if you're in London, 18th to the 21st of November, they are in Tobacco Dock, London, at the Taste London Beer Festival. So anyone in London, or anyone that's visiting the capital, pop along. They'll have it there. They're always at different shows like that. Yeah. But if you're in South Wales, go to either of their bars. But I suggest, just from what I've seen, I suggest going to the brewery, because their taproom bar is lovely, and then you get to do the tour as well.
I need to, next time I'm back home, I need to make a point of doing that. So
I think maybe we'll come up.
Yeah, do a Newport.
It might be easier than you two coming down. We'll come up. And,
okay. Yeah.
Or if your wife is with you as well, easier for us to come and see up there. Come and see some of your family as well. For a while.
And we can make a base, and we can go to Newport. And I don't know if Damien will be around, but we could maybe chalk him up as well. And that'd be good. That'll be good. Hey, look, Iechyd to Rebel Brewing. Fair play on the boys.
Iechyd, very, very impressive. I love their artwork. They got cool, like graffiti style tins.
Yeah.
Where is that one? Hang on.
Little guys in flapping caps and stuff. Yeah, I love that.
It's like Tiny Rebel, like graffiti paint and sort of silhouetted. Their other tins are a little bit livelier, but no, they're nice company. I can list a couple of beers if you want before we go.
Yeah. Before
so we got Kutch, which I mentioned, the red ale, easy living, the pale ale. They've got $5 Shake, which is the creamy Citra IPA, rhubarb and custard sour, and this is the one. The Imperial Stout that I mentioned earlier in the show is from Tiny Rebel. It's called Doom's Night.
Oh,
I haven't written it down, but I believe it's about a 12%. So I'm going to try and get that for the Advent specials we're going to be doing.
I was going to say Doom's Night.
And that looks like a full tin.
Oh, flipping heck.
Proper size tin, not one of these stubby fucks.
Maybe keep that because obviously through our Advent, we'll be doing our little mini stuff, but we'll be doing once a week. So we'll be doing this as well, where we combine it. So.
Oh yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I'll review it in that.
Maybe.
I've got some treats lined up. Usually I'm struggling, but I've fucking jumped the gun here. Looking for Halloween beers, which wasn't too successful. Although don't worry, DrayBarrels, I have sourced some stuff.
Okay.
I found a lot of stouts and I thought I'm going to get them now. And I have. My fridge outside has got about 60 beers in it, and about 30 of them are different from each other.
You're ahead of the game. Hey, DrayBarrels, he's ahead of me.
Let my cat in. Sorry, cat. I can't let my cat in because the extension. Can I?
It's
a saga. Can't do it. You have to stay on the right.
I thought you were shuffling around for another beer in the back. This is one of the stouts we got. Look at this, Oh my God.
Come on then. I've spoken. Talk to me about yours.
So obviously my beer, I love the can artwork again, Astronaut Stout. I'm just envious of that. That's just kind of very retro looking, isn't it? It's pretty cool. It's good. So the beer itself is it's listed as a dark roasted rice and chocolate millet malts combined kind of stout, oatmeal stout, and it's 5%, like I said. The brewery itself are based in, I thought it was Oklahoma City. I was like, but it's actually Tulsa, Oklahoma. Have you heard of that?
Tulsa.
I've heard of Tulsa.
In a Gene Pitney song.
Tulsa, there's Tulsa, Florida, and obviously there's a Tulsa, Oklahoma, which I didn't realize. Maybe. So that's kind of interesting to me. So let's kind of talk about them. So their little slogan is T minus 3, 2, 1, and then they get into it. So a lot of their beers, I'll talk about the different beers they have, but they're very space themed, like Star Trek and all that, and wars fights and all that in space,
Oh yeah.
Chewbacca.
The Jetsons and all that.
Jetsons, Johnny Five, all stuff like that. It's all space, isn't it? So
what about that other one, Blake 7, and the other one? One you used to look at. What was that called?
Galactica Battles. Battlestar Galactica. Doctor Who.
It. Battlestar Galacticas.
I do like that. Yeah, that's the one. So I love the name, Neff Brewing. It's kind of cool. Neff. It's very simple. So they're proud to serve the Tulsa area. They're very proud of Oklahoma, located in the national.
Local boys. Local.
Very local. It's interesting, their story actually. So they're in a historic area of Oklahoma called the Dock, which is interesting. It's very inland to have a dock, so I don't know. So smack dab middle, right in Tulsa, and I kind of looked at their website. They have a lovely tap room. They only have the one tap room, This very Art Deco style, you know. They have kind of like curves and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a family-owned business and founded by father and son team, John and Jonathan Neff. Oh, there's the name. And so they've been brewing venture began when Jonathan, so that would be the son, I guess, was diagnosed with celiac disease. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. I've not.
Celiac disease, yeah.
In 2012. So he was kind of told, you know, he could no longer drink regular beers.
Yeah, it's a wheat intolerance.
Oh, okay.
I used to have it when I was a child, but I grew out of it. Celiac disease, so you're allergic to wheat and gluten and things like that. So there are gluten-free beers. So obviously that must be a gluten-free beer you're drinking.
Well, yeah. So what they exactly, and I've seen this a lot actually in beers, especially Martin House, my favorite. They do a lot of gluten-free beers, you know. So I guess, yeah. I mean, looking at I didn't realize this. I wouldn't have thought it to look at it, but yeah, gluten-free oats, tapioca, maltodextrin, hop, yeast, and water. So this beer is naturally gluten-free. That's interesting. So they're trying to go through that.
So what does it taste like? If you tasted that as a stout, would you have known it was? Does it taste different to another stout? Obviously it does, but what it is.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like I say, I wouldn't have. I'm kind of actually. It's almost the aftertaste. You're kind of picking it up as a stout, and like I'm tasting it now, and I'm like, yeah, that's definitely a stout. But to begin with, I wasn't quite sure. You know, it was almost like a brown ale, but it's probably more of a traditional, an old-fashioned kind of stout. You know, no fanciness about it, but I'm starting to appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah,
you know, you don't get many like this anymore. So that it's kind of, what would you say, like down to the bare bones of a stout, in a way.
It's like an original, like you said.
Exactly.
It's like if you have a proper Guinness, it's not the draft that everyone is so used to around the world. It's original Guinness, which is from the bottle, isn't it? And it does taste vastly different to the draft.
Yeah, no, you're right. That would be one for Mr. A, actually, drinking out of the bottle or the can. You know, he doesn't drink it on draft. So
no, but it is odd to drink a draft beer that has a widget in it, or even some of these nitro beers that require you to turn it over to get the sensation and get the rushing effect and the cascading. It is weird to drink one of them from the can.
So let me say something.
Choose to drink it from the can. It's an odd thing, isn't it?
It is. So I was asked when I mentioned it that Texas Cannon Brewery I went to this week. Lovely place, yeah. Nice little place, some friendly folks, and I know they commented on our post, and they actually asked me.
Yeah, fuck off, Welshie, didn't they? Is that in?
Yeah, I'm not local, and it was a pretty local place. But you know, warm welcome. But they actually asked me if I wanted my IPA nitro or just normal or just.
Oh, talk to me. I've not experienced that before.
No, I've never heard of that. So I should have probably quizzed her a little bit more on it. Why
you wanted it from the wood?
Well, the backwoods. That's where we were before. I said nitro. I just went with nitro. I've had nitro Guinness, and
I do like the nitro. I do. I am a fan of it. Like a lot of them now say, turn the can as fast as possible and whop. Yeah, that nitro effect. I do like it. It's the theatre. We've mentioned it before. It's the theatre of the pub.
It is the theatre, and they do. Remember, they used to do those. I don't know if they still do them. Those little nitro beer mats, and you put your beer on it, and they would nitro it for you.
Oh, you're talking about the Guinness, the Thurger. The Thurger. I had one of them.
Nice.
The only trouble with them is you have to buy the Guinness Surger cans to put your thing in, and it just become a fucking hassle. So the novelty wore off after about 2 4-packs. You just thought, fuck this, I'll just buy a normal one, and hence you don't see them on the shelf anymore.
It was just a pantomime.
It's like tab. We don't see
Oh.
tab in this country anymore.
No, I know. Governor, are you okay? You've got a little thing on your wrist. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just I've got a strained wrist from activities at work.
Painting and such. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't. Sorry. I just thought I
don't
didn't
have to be sorry. It wasn't your fault.
Oh no, that's true. Anyway, so yeah, they've been open since 2018. And they've won some awards in both beer and its food. So they do serve food as well. So,
as the mine, I should have mentioned that they do serve food in their tap room as well.
Oh, okay. I don't know if they do it in the Cardiff location. I don't remember food being there, but it was pretty late. And we were there just for the drinking. You know what Cardiff's like at like 10 o'clock.
Oh, I love the diff. I loves it. I won't lie to you. I loves the diff.
So it's you
go in there May next year. I'm going to the next year.
Oh, you are?
Oh, aha! Going to see him, and I told you.
Know. And we won't be over until June, so we might just miss you. So
let's sort them dates out. I'm getting busy.
Yeah, I know. I need to chalk them up, I should say, pretty fast. But yeah, we're thinking 1st of June we should be over. But hey, I'll keep you up to date. But yeah, down Chip Alley, have a couple of burgers and that, and yeah, on to the Goat Major and such, and all those classic pubs.
Try not to get head kicked in down Chip Alley.
Oh God, shit! Yeah, don't.
What sort of idiot does that?
Also, yeah, pissing
rivers
everywhere.
Of blood. Rivers of blood. Anyway,
mental.
Yes, we diverge.
We do. So yeah, Neff Brewing craft beers, naturally gluten-free. I've talked about that. So their motto is brewed for everyone. So come visit us on Frankfort Avenue, Boxyard. Cheers. And they are open all week, folks. Apart from, I say they're open all week, they're closed on Monday. But the rest of the week, they're open. Get your facts right. So yeah, that's kind of their story, really. They're pretty new as well.
Well, I always suggest that it sounds like your brewery over there, although it's a little bit younger than mine. My one's been going 9 years.
Yeah,
just go on their websites. Their websites are so fucking good. They are really good. They've invested in them. I mean, I can tell sometimes I do an older, more traditional beer from the bottle or brown ale or whatever, and their websites are pretty bog standard. But these newer companies, they're right on it. They know what sells. It's part of it now, Instagramming and MySpace and all that. So they
modern. Very modern.
You can all. I mean, I can order single cans from this place. I can order big batches, and I bet it's the same with your one. And they tell you all the information you need, even how to get there. So
they do. It's mapped. And
any of these ones, Tiny Rebel or Neff that you've reviewed, just get on their websites and give them a look at. Good places. When we come over, we'll definitely. When you're in June, then we'll definitely go to Newport because it ain't going to take you long. There is it.
No, it's so close anyway. So we want to visit Tiny Rebel. Like I said, I've been to the Cardiff location, so let's check out the Tiny Rebel Newport location. Do a bit of a video or whatever.
Well, they got one in the town. They got the bar in the town, but I want to go to the tap room.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, that sounds a plan. Oh, look out, DrayBarrel. It'll be a real good treatment.
Why not?
But that's what I just wanted to mention. If you are going on the websites, they will all ask you your age as well. So if you're underage DrayBarrels listening in, you're not allowed on the websites. You have to be 21 in America or 18, and they will ask you on that. So it's just a little
check. It's a thing, which is good of them. I mean, I'm not quite sure what would happen if you were younger and pressed yes.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know. I haven't tried that.
Because if you have to order stuff, I don't understand what the problem is looking at beer. You still got to order it at the end of the day. If you're not 18 or 21, you ain't going to have the car. I suppose in America it's a bit different. But over here, you'll be able to order it.
Well,
Anyway.
yeah, I suppose unless tight, they always get you. I mean, unfortunately, my first visit to America, there was a little story. We went to a bowling alley, me and the good wife, and I had my British driving license and my passport, and I didn't have an American license, and they would not serve me beer, even though I'm 30 something years of age. And me and the wife had to share a beer together, and because they didn't recognize, even though it had my birth date on it. And
I completely understand that, right? It's the rule. Why didn't your good wife just buy 2 beers?
well, yeah, oh, she got a picture. That's what it was. She got a picture and we shared that. And
So it's weird that they must see that you're drinking beer, but they wouldn't serve it to you. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, because the girl could see me because we were directly in front of them and we were drinking them together. And I was like looking at her, and she was like this, behind the bowling alley counter, or whatever that you call it, and
How many lanes?
it's probably 10 or 12 or something like ridiculous like that.
Not that many, eh?
Or maybe 15. I can't remember. I'll have to ask, but yeah.
Oh,
It
I
was
like
all good
I
shenanigans. Yeah.
I like a 10-pin G-Max with a 30 laner. I like. Oh, I do like the sound of a bowling alley. Satisfying, that sound.
I'm trying to think of when back home. I guess the only one I ever went to was the one in Bridgend. I don't even know if it's open anymore. They opened a big 10-pin bowling alley in Bridgend.
I used to go to one. That's where we always used to go. And then because they had a great bar in there as well with a big screen. So if the football was on, England match, we'd all go up there, about 500 of us. Pissed right up. Good times. Good times.
Good times. Anyway, I'll list a couple of beers quickly before we get onto the ends. Astronaut cookies, which I had. They do a sour called Raspberry Pride. That sounds nice. A pale ale called Ignition Switch, the kind of vibe that space vibe again. And they have a blonde ale called Apollo Blonde. I guess that's like the Apollo missions, I suppose.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few others, like we said, just check out their website. They have stuff on tap and the usual gumph. So anyway, you covered your beer
from top to
everything in top. So I'm gonna try and work this last. Oh shite! Sorry, DrayBarrel. I'm gonna bring something up here.
I'll put the cassette in.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, it's Drags of the Week.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
There you go. It worked.
That it?
What do you mean?
Well, you said it was different. It's exactly the same as every week.
Well, no, it's on the computer, so the sound is better.
Yeah, it did sound a little better.
Okay.
Right.
I can't. I did a video. Remember, you saw the video last week, but that is just.
Not sure how it turned out.
It's just like a search. You have to go into one file and another and another.
I told you, all your bank account, everything was up.
I know, but hey, have you got a drag or?
I've got a drag. Yes, I've been thinking about this because. So anyway, let's just go right into it. So my drag is. I have to ask you actually. In America, do you have many shops, especially supermarkets, big grocery stores, things like that, with self checkouts?
We do, and I use them all the time. It's probably like most of them have like 6 or 7 of them now.
Yeah, well, we're in the big supermarkets over here. They got like banks of sort of, I don't know, 12, 15 of them, and it works quickly, But sometimes I've got a basket of shopping, such as the other morning. We went before I took my kids to school, and I can fit a lot in a basket. Plus, like things like toilet rolls.
Oh yeah.
6 arseholes in this house, so we need a lot of toilet roll. One of them, cat food, all stuff like that. And carrying it along, you get there, My dreg is that you get there, you put it all down on one side, which is nice and wide. And then when you've scanned it, you have to put it on a thin bit before you put it in your bag. Or you can put your bag on and load it into your bag. Quite often now we don't get free bags over here. You have to bring your own bags or whatever.
Yeah, it's getting like
So,
that.
but the side that you put the stuff on weighs what you've bought. So if you've scanned like a jar of something, you put it down, and some cereal, and like I've said, toilet rolls and things like that, the space on the thing becomes less and less, and you end up sort of piling it up like Jenga. And
Oh,
then if
okay.
you've got some beers and you think, oh, there's no room left, you have to put it on, because it won't let you scan the next thing, or it'll go off, because it needs to weigh what you've scanned without your hands being on it. It's a fucking nightmare.
Wait, what do you mean weigh? It weighs it as well.
When you've scanned it, so you've got it one side, you scan it, you put it the side that you've bought it.
Okay.
That is a weighted thing. So if you've scanned like 4 cans of beer, particularly, like 4 cans of Carling or whatever, it knows what the weight of Carling is. So when you place it on the scale, it knows that you've got Carling and you haven't got something else. It weighs everything, even chewing gum and stuff that's really small. And
Yeah.
it won't let you continue until you've placed that item you've scanned on the thing. But it's too small. It's too fucking small.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. A couple of times. In fact, there was one, I was down in Cornwall when I was on that other job, which I'm returning to soon.
Yeah.
I went in an unfamiliar store, and it pissed me off so much. About 6 or 7 items. It pissed me off so much, I just walked out.
Fuck. You just
Mid-scan it. So I'd scan 3 or 4 things. It wouldn't scan something. It wouldn't weigh it right. And it got my goat so much, it made my blood boil. I just walked out and left everything on the thing. Thought, fuck this, I cannot be bothered.
But if
I'd rather starve. Fuck it.
Don't you think, like, you have 10 items, so it shouldn't be that much? But like,
no, it's not. There's no limit on. There's no limit. There's no like 10 items thing.
Oh, okay.
The thing that annoys me is that they have, like, because they've got all this bank of smaller stuff with these little weight scales, and you have to fit it all in. The bigger ones, where you used to put them on the conveyor belt when the lady or man scans it through for you and you wait the other side, like traditional checkout, they might only have 2 people on. They've got like 20 of them, but they might only have 2 people on. And usually the people that are on them have got a load of shopping. So unless you're prepared to wait, you're going to be there a long while.
Jesus Christ.
I need to make the exit weight larger.
Longer, larger area. No, absolutely. Do you know what an issue I've been having with those things is my card. When I put my card in, I'm not going to show it to you, but I'll give an example from my driving license. And I'm pushing it up into that thing, and it's not going. And I got to fiddle around. And one day I was there for.
Don't you have tap? Don't you have tap? Tap and go.
Oh, no, it's chip and pin.
Don't you have tap in America?
What is tap? I've never heard of that.
Well, like mine here, look, this is my bank. Well, it's not. There's my bank card.
Yeah.
And on it, without showing it, there's a little lines like you get.
Oh, yeah, I saw those. Yeah,
so you just, like, if that was the machine,
yeah,
you can choose to stick it in the machine. But if it's less than, well, just raising it now, but if it was less than £50, then I just hold my card on top, it scans it, gone.
I saw them at the petrol station. They have them there as well now. And my card hasn't got that. So maybe that's the next stage.
Still on that solo.
But I'm like, and then I'm like, and it's so, they have this little thing over the pad for the chip and pin. And I'm like trying to get up to the numbers. I'm like, oh, this is a cafe.
Got no nails, and you're there with your fucking pipe thing. Trying to push the buttons with your pipe thing. You need more girth on your card. That's what it is.
Oh, this would be good for that. Oh, that's great. That little thing. Because I get a shock from it. We have gated community here, and we have to, and sometimes get a shock from the pad. I could use this.
Gay what?
Gated community, because it's a gated apartment.
You do realise that's metal, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, well that won't work. Anyway, my drag is quick. It's my pet peeve is like getting stuff recycled, and we've done this so long in the UK anyway. But like I am finding like people putting bottles in. This is in work more in the recycle bin, and that water the bottles are to be recycled. They're half full of water, so they haven't poured them away, and they're putting them in the recycle. I'm like, what? And then like,
where you work, this is?
yeah, but also here as well, like certain people in this household are putting stuff in the recycle bin with food still in there. And I'm like, oh, not washing out the plastic. I'm like, no.
Do you know, if they get that, there's a good show on telly over here this week, and I watched it with my kids. If they get that and they get to the recycling centre, they just bin it.
See?
It takes too long for them and too much to wash everything out, so they just bin it.
So yeah, anyway, just get with it, people. Think,
Save our planet, man.
Save our planet, as Jay said. Anyway, our time's getting on here, Governor. Do you want to give it?
I'm going to review mine.
Okay.
Tiny Rebel. I'm a fan. I've been for a while. I'm going to get that stout for the special stout season. I've enjoyed your other beers. You don't make a bad one. For a porter, this is an absolute treat. 8.5, right down the line.
Oh, shit. Brilliant. All right, chalk that up. Me with my lovely Neff Brewing, Oatmeal's Astronaut cookies, Oatmeal Stout. It's very traditional, like we said. I like it. It's kind of go back to basics. Not much taste to it though, otherwise. So I'm gonna give it just a solid 7. Solid 7 from me for these guys at Neff, and cheers to that. So anyway, that's all done and dusted today, but next week is Halloween, so we'll be recording our Halloween special, right?
It'll be a Halloween special next week, folks. Hopefully dropping a day or two before Halloween. I think last year we may have missed it and put it out a few days after Halloween.
I don't know.
So watch out for that one. Maybe Thursday or Friday next week that one will be out. But until then, stay safe. Don't let the buggers bite you, and we'll see you next week.
There are.